Yeah, where I'm walking, it was all hawkers here, but you can see now they're kind of limited. I don't know if these areas are designated areas or I don't think so, because it's under the pavements. As you can see, they are not actually designated areas, and the courts are saying the city of Joburg must allocate people to the right areas, of course, before they actually chase them in these areas that is being said workers cannot trade. If you are an illegal immigrant under these streets here, you can't. Definitely, you won't be able to be trading here. It's just unfortunate for the Dudula people. What they started, Dudula cannot do anymore what it used to be doing. They are not allowed anymore. But let's be honest, guys, these guys, they really helped a lot. They triggered a certain nerve of the government to say, guys, you've got to do this. They clean the cities, it's got to be cleaned. Actually, what I want to say is people are selling. It's around MTN taxi rank. People are selling, guys, people are selling. What are designated areas? Designated areas are like these ones here. These stars, as you can see, these are designated areas. Right. So as you can see where these people they are selling is right here in Park Station, and we are just approaching De Villiers Street, and I'll be like giving you the updates of what actually is what is happening in these streets when it comes to the hawking, the selling of clothes, different gadgets. This is what we're gonna be just doing under these streets and see what is really is the outcome of these streets here. We are gonna be talking of different cases, different stories, different stuff that is happening here in Johannesburg under these streets. And as you can see, a lot I can see has been happening or is still happening. The city of Johannesburg has been taken to court, because of what has been happening here, of what they did. They actually like cleaned this street. This street was a lot of people who were selling here. The street vendors, hawking, that has been transpiring under the street. So I'm gonna be giving you the updates. What's really happening, guys? What do you think? What do you see? But then the thing is, a lot has been happening, a lot has been reported, and you know, the court case, the case that has been in court, the verdict has been delivered. I think you all know, some of you all know that, but there are some of you who doesn't know, of which I'm going to be feeling on that. The city of Johannesburg has actually been given as from the 4th to the 14th, right, if I'm not mistaken, but they've been given some dates. I'll check on that, the dates that they are supposed to allocate people, like to allocate all those people who were removed from, you can see here, to be allocated in places like this, to be allocated in actually in designated areas. These hawkers who used to be selling here under the street here, to be given areas where they can go and sell. But actually before they do that, they need to apply, they need to get some certificates, and those certificates, they can only get it from the city of Johannesburg. They are being given those, and how do you qualify for that? You'll be vetted, your identities, and just to check on you if you are actually gonna be permitted to be selling here. They've got to know what you're gonna be selling. They're going to want to know, is what you are selling allowed in that area, your addresses and all that. But then there is this thing that only the South Africans are supposed to be trading here. Only the South Africans are supposed to be like given the licenses. So that they will be able to trade along these areas. But then it really is not the case. Yeah, as you can see, there are still no people who are selling on this street yet, because this street, the city bylaws is saying people cannot sell here. Can be. They've got to be allocated in some other areas where they can go sell, but only after being vetted, only after being allowed, given the certificates. But then, as the city of Joburg was taken to court, it's a win game for the immigrants as well, because there's been a promise that if their papers are okay, if their papers are legit, like the asylum seekers, they are also involved in this thing. They can actually also apply for the certificates. They can actually apply and be given the certificates to be able to be selling under these designated areas. Only under these designated areas, guys, but not under these streets anymore. And that is something that came from the courts. So it's a different, it's actually is a difficult situation for many who would have, like, say, only South Africans are only supposed to be trading here. But it's a totally different story, guys. The truth must be told. Not only the locals are going to be trading here, also the foreigners, as long as they've got the right papers, they can trade from here. These guys, the NGOs, they took these guys to the courts to fight and say they also want to be trading. And who were affected is also South Africans, the locals, and the foreigners, the immigrants. But the bad news is, if you are an illegal immigrant under these streets here, you can't. Definitely, you won't be able to be trading here. You won't be able to get a certificate unless maybe you're going to trade unlawfully, of which you're going to be having a lot of trouble, a lot of problems with with the police, JMPD, local enforcement, police enforcement will be on to you. You won't be able to trade here as a illegal immigrant. But if you are legal, you've got the right papers and everything, you can trade under these streets here. And actually only on the designated areas. We are just going to be like checking which are one of those designated areas. I'm going to be showing you. Because already there are some who are already selling here, but there are a few, if you can check on it. And you can see the security around here, and this is the designated area that was marked some time back. And you can see here these guys are selling already. That means they've got the certificate that allows them to be selling under the street here. But now we're going to be checking, because the court has actually said this cannot continue, because the city of Johannesburg, actually they wanted to continue doing this street by street cleaning, of which, yes, they want to carry on doing the right thing, cleaning the streets, and of which I think it's a good thing. You can see that these streets are clean, and I think these streets should be kept this way. I've walked past here, guys, before, but I'm just going to be taking you in these different streets and show you exactly what's commencing, because you can see under all these areas like these ones, there were a lot of workers were here, but still even today they're not here, because they can't just come here and start trading without the certificates, and especially if it's not a demarcated area, it's not a designated area, allowed area, allocated area to do so. They can't just come and start selling. That's the unfortunate thing, part of it. I'm trying to divert myself from copyright music there. There is a lot that is happening, guys, in Johannesburg, and you can attest to that as I'm walking these streets here. You can see many of them, some of them under these streets, they are already, it's just work as usual. And some of them who are just standing by, I think, waiting for their permits, waiting for their permits to be working. I think this, the certificates. The allocated areas are like these ones here, these ones here. But you can see there is no one yet here, meaning to say they can't be here without the certificates. You can't just come and start selling here without the certificate. The court gave a strict rule to say the city of Johannesburg has got to give people, they gave them time to say before this certain area, before this certain time, people should be having the certificates to be selling here. But not illegal immigrants. If you are illegal, you cannot trade in Johannesburg. But if you are legal, that's the thing that many wanted to know and say, so is it only the locals who are going to be trading under the streets here? But the fact, it's not going to be like that. Everyone, as long as you are eligible, you can sell under the street, whether you are an immigrant, as long as you've got the right papers. Well, it's Johannesburg, it is the rule. Straight away from the court. But what I can say is you can see it's business as usual in some other streets. We've got to check on that. Let's go see what's happening in also in what we call this street, by the way, Bree Street. If only I believe if only the security, they keep the tight security under the streets here, even though there are so many people who will be trading, it will be a good thing, I believe. Let's see this side here. What's happening here? People are heavily. Actually, what I want to say is people are selling. People are selling here, as usual. It's around empty and taxi rank. People are selling, guys. People are selling. It's business as usual, as you can see. This side here, it's empty and butchery. And this side here, under these pavements, you can see also people selling their stuff. But somehow, to some extent, there's some control, kind of control, because these areas used to be like having so many hawkers here, but I don't see much. They are kind of limited. I think you can see that. Where I'm walking, it was all hawkers here, but you can see now they're kind of limited. I don't know if these areas are designated areas or I don't think so, because it's under the pavements, as you can see. They are not actually designated areas, and the courts are saying the City of Joburg must allocate people to the right areas, of course, before they actually chase them in these areas that is being said workers cannot trade. So the first thing that they should do, according to the courts, they must, and it's a must, to allocate them in the right places. And those ones who are already no longer selling, like in the DUDULA street. We are right here, and this is Lilian Goy, by the way, guys. It's another name given to of Bridge Street. This is Bridge Street, but now it's Lilian Goi. Amen. Oh, grand. So you can see these guys here. They're walking around the street, and you can see all the security around different areas. You can see it's all security here. The panyaza everywhere, just looking after people. I guess it's a good thing, right? If this thing can just continue to be like this, I think that would be a good thing, somewhat to some extent. Besides the people who are selling, having a lot of security under these areas is a good thing. It will only enable the tourists to walk freely around these streets here. Now I'm still relating the stories that has been happening in the courts, because there are organizations like DUDULA. Those organizations that is just like DUDULA that started this movement of to say immigrants, illegal immigrants, should not be trading under these areas, should not also be like in the clinics using public facilities like clinics, like hospitals, like schools. On the 4th, guys, on the 4th of November, there was also a court order that was issued, because there was a court case that was being in the courts to say DUDULA has to stop everything of that sort, you know, preventing people from walking these streets, from selling under these streets anyway, especially the illegal immigrants, of which it ended up not only being illegal immigrants, it ended up being all foreigners. And then it became a very tight case, a very strong case against them, to say, how can you operate, how can you be Mzansi without foreigners? Now this is not according to me, this is actually according to the rule that was given by the court. So under strict order, those organizations, after being taken to court by the NGOs, by the communities, civil organizations, a lot of them took them to court and said what they are doing is very illegal. They are not doing right by the people, and this thing of chasing away of immigrants is not only affecting the immigrants, it's also affecting the locals, not only the immigrants actually, it's also affecting the locals, because everyone, they'll just look at you and say, how do you look? If you look more black, and then they'll say, you are from a certain country. If you look much more blacker, you're from the DRC, then you're an illegal immigrant. But then you'd see that there are the locals who are really black in color, like the vendors, Amavenda, Namashangani, even the Zulus. I mean, there are people who are really like, you know, have got really black complexions. That really affected so many people. But you can see, guys, here there is a lot of security who are moving around. You can see these guys here who are on the red. That's what they are doing. And there's a street here. What's happening? You can see the fixings taking place here. What an amazing thing, because this street needs to look better. It's one of those streets that is really, really clean right here in Johannesburg. A brick street, only if it is kept as it is. These are the designated areas. As you can see, people are still selling here. People are selling here. Many people today. Work is commencing. So this is actually Lillian Roy Street. People who are really affected mostly is the people who are in De Villiers Street. So what is the court saying, guys? I know, yeah, I've got different listeners. I've got also people from the other countries who will be like watching this channel. They also want to know what's happening. It's true. If an immigrant, the court order says no one should come to you and ask for any document, whether an ID, whether in a passport. If they are not a police, if they are not the immigration officer, even though it's a police, they must be in such a position that they must be asking you, not just meeting you along the way and then just ask you. They must have suspected you of something that would lead for them asking you about your identities. That is what is the court saying. It's not me, guys. That is what the court order is saying. That on the side of the immigrants, this is the status. But the Operation DUDULA says all should go. The PA they're saying everyone who's a foreigner shouldn't be trading here. You can see here, this is a designated areas. You can see with the landmarks there. There are yellow lines. Yeah. So this is actually a designated area. These are the areas where they're saying people should just carry on selling their products. But according to some organizations, we're saying no, it's only the South Africans or the locals who are supposed to be selling here. But it's a different story, guys. It's a different story. I don't know how you're gonna take it, but it is what it is. These are the outcomes. The court has ruled and say anyone who has got the right documentation, who's legal if he's an immigrant, is allowed to be selling on these streets here, but only if their documentation has been vetted and they've been given the certificates. So many would say, now what's going to be the story Is it not going to be difficult somehow to say these certificates, some are going to be starting like buying them? Corruption at its peak. It's the radio, it's the televisions. A lot has been said about this city, about this street cleaning. They've been saying a good work has been underway. But to be honest, we should say thanks to those organizations as DUDULA, because they opened, you know, they opened the minds of the government to say, hey, you need to clean this city. Whichever the way they used, though the way they used was a little harsh, unfortunately for the immigrants, but whatever they did sparked a lot to say Johannesburg has got to be fixed, Joburg has got to be fixed, and this is what made the City of Johannesburg to implement its laws, to say, to make the bylaws start working, to say, hey, we are cleaning here. We're gonna be starting cleaning like thoroughly at the city. And also with the G20 approaching, many were saying, no, this thing is only done because of the G20. And the guys who were affected will be saying, why? This has started to happen now, and it's towards Xmas, towards Christmas. The kids, they need clothes. They should have done this, but they were supposed to be notified, or in fact, to be taken to the allocated areas before they were just chased just like that. That's the argument. That is what caused this whole situation to be in the course at the end. The EFF also was part of those organizations that helped the South Africans, the immigrants who were being chased from or who were evicted from selling points, from illegal selling points, according to the City of Johannesburg. So they helped in a way to those people. Guys, I'm not taking any sides, I'm just giving you what's happening in Joburg as we speak. I'm not taking any side, I'm not any side, I'm just giving you what is the reality on the streets, to say this is what is happening. The trading is carrying on. Is in some streets you can see the selling is on. People are selling, they are trading, hawkers, plenty of them. These streets actually the City of Joburg was saying they're gonna be coming and cleaning all these streets, street by street. The same thing as they did in the Villiers, but then the court said you can't do that. If you are going to do that, make sure those people, you've got allocated places. Before you evict them, give those people some certificates. Those who qualifies after being vetted, they must be allocated. And the City of Joburg, they are happy for that and say, yes, this is exactly what they're going to be doing. It's okay, no problem with that. But like again, only for those who qualifies. So how is this street here? We are crossing the street of this is actually a small street, right? Yes. A lot of activities does happen here. And you can see it's business as usual. Business as always, but even today, it's even worse. I think after that court, after the court case, the immigrants in this city, they are like a mouse without a cat near. They're everywhere. I'm not against them. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. They're everywhere. They're doing their work. As always. And you can see by this street here, it's a busy day. It's business. And like I was saying, guys, if it wasn't about the movements of the organizations such as the DUDULA, the cleaning of these areas would never have happened this way. The cleaning of these areas actually would never have happened this way. So sometimes a negative thing and a negative, what others would call negative, can actually bring positive vibes at the end of the day. This is exactly what's happening in Johannesburg, but unfortunately the High Court is saying no to what DUDULA has been doing, because they're saying that is xenophobia, and xenophobia is not allowed. And xenophobia is not something they would ever allow in South Africa, ever. So that's what's on the ground right now, guys. I'm sorry to do that, guys, but I think if you use other ways of campaigning, you won't have any problems, because they're saying they can still campaign, but they can't campaign using or chasing away immigrants, illegal or not illegal. Legal or not illegal. You hear that? That's the crazy part about it. And also the court has ordered that the illegal eviction, the evictions that has been happening, there were evictions that was taking place, that was caused by, actually done by the Dudula people in some other. Oh, okay. We can cross some. I'm still relating to this story, guys, about what really happened with the Dudula. There's been some evictions that has been happening in different areas, and this has been done by different political parties. I think you've seen that in KZN and Tshwane, some evictions that has been happening there, to say all the illegals, all the foreigners must be evicted in their homes. The court has said if such happens, those people will be arrested because there is a court order. Yeah, I'm just saying what the courts has said. That means a foreigner cannot be evicted by any organization who says or who comes and says section this, section that says this. Right, you can see, guys, it's business as usual. Business as usual under the streets. So I want you guys to tell me, what do you think of the verdict? What do you think about the ruling of the High Court about this whole thing? Is it fair to the people? Is it fair to the locals? Is it fair to everyone living in South Africa? What should be done? Give me your thinking about it. I'm only just delivering what's on the ground, and you can see Small Street is heavily loaded today, heavily packed. Many people here who are just coming to buy. Small Street has been always like this, but in the past days things had changed a little bit. There were less and lesser people here in Joburg, here in these streets. This is Small Street, guys. Hola? Oh, grand. Sa. Right, we can pass here. It's a very busy street, guys. Umnandi. Wangathi shoota mina. Ubani gama lakho? Ubani gama lakho? Ah, ukhona la e-shopping bengithi mhlawumbe u-content creator. So, ubani gama? That's why ngibuza.
Mina ngu-DJ Ramza.
DJ Ramza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yabona kama shop la.
Yeah.
I produce music.
Oh, in the music. Kula ma shops onke la.
Yeah, and then ngiyenza izinto zakungena ngaphakathi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uwela.
Yeah.
Okay, bafo. Be right. Walk Africa.
Yeah, I see.
You see.
I love the recording, huh?
He's what else.
Right.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the right guy.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm not here. Stop me. All right, guys. Meeting different people here. I hope I won't edit him out. I think I'm gonna keep him in the video so that you know what's happening under the streets. He's also a content creator, a DJ Spanbani, right here in Joburg. The streets that are so busy like nothing ever before. So these are the cases, these are the stories that is happening here in Joburg. In case you didn't know, because many wanted to know what's happening, guys. What's happening in Joburg? What's happening? Many would claim that what these okay, let's go this way now. I think let me check this way. So many were claiming that what these other factions are doing, these organizations are doing, they are actually making people, other countries, to hate South Africa. Some locals didn't like that. That's the reason why they end up taking these guys to court to say, hey, this has got to stop. But then actually DUDULA is saying we are not stopping. We are actually going to take this case further. I don't know if they're going to appeal the case. I don't know if they are going to manage that, because this case, it's something else. A lot is happening. I don't know even if they take it to appeal for it, it's going to be, the verdict is going to change, because this, they promised that December time and January time to go schools. There is a lot that they were supposed to do there, like to stop all the immigrants' children, and also teachers. It's crazy what has been happening, guys. I'm just going to give you exactly what has been happening. They've been saying even if you are a footballer coming to play in South Africa as a foreigner, no, you can't be. You can't. There are those who are saying like that, and I'm talking of the DUDULA and the other factions that do exactly what the DUDULA was also doing. So they were saying, like, if you are a footballer, you're coming from the other country, you can't come and play in South Africa. No, we have got also sons who can play football. So you see, that thing, it actually brought a lot of some negativity. I don't know how to put this, because if you hear now people saying, those organizations now saying, we don't want anyone who's also like a singer. I heard about this Nakai. If you know Nakai, she's a singer who's very known. Look at these nice buildings here. And Obo Shasha, they're saying, no, they can't come and represent South Africa. But if you check on it, it's not like they were representing or presenting South Africa as such, just singing. So it's those kind of things that is really kind of bringing down these factions, because the courts are saying this is inhuman. And all these things that I'm saying, guys, it's right on the court order to say they can't do that anymore. So these are the updates, guys. I came here especially for those updates here to say this is what's on the ground and this is what is happening, because there was a court case on Monday. That was on Friday, all right. There was some toying, some protesting, you know, many times, especially about that yes, thank you. Whew. Thank you. So they're at the High Court. There was some protesting or kind of supporting what has been happening in the courts as the court cases were being had. Now this area here, guys, is one of the smartest area right here in Johannesburg. You should try it, you should come here if you want to eat. Gandhi Square, it's one of those areas that is really, really smart. Even if you look here, look at this area. It's nice flowers, nicely done. A restaurant here, a cafe around here. Look at this. What an amazing area. You can come with your family, just come and eat. And the security who are just going around here. Chicken Licken right there. And this is the main street. It's actually easier. I was wondering what's happening there. But anyway, nothing. You can see this is one of the cleanest areas. Beautiful areas right here in Joburg. Very clean. And mostly tourists, they walk here. It's only the inner city that has got a problem. That usually was having a problem. That men would say, no, I will never walk in the inner city. Why should I? What's happening with these guys? What's happening? What's the noise? Oh, I'm sure he's talking to someone. This is Pritchard. I just want to show you the High Court, where the court orders, the court order is just coming from, was delivered from, and where the different organizations were during the court days. This is the High Court to my left, and nice buildings left to my right. This is the National Prosecuting Authority, South African Gauteng Division, Johannesburg. where I've been just pointing my camera right now. Right to my left is the High Court, Joburg High Court. This is where the things have been happening. See, right here, this is where everything was happening. This is where the court order was delivered from, and it's out there right now. That says if any of those organizations, the likes of the likes of DUDULA, Action SA, and the recent one, the new one there in Durban, those conducts they were doing, especially like their campaign type of conducts for their parties, for their organizations, if they carry on doing that, if they're busy in doing that because of that court order, they will be arrested, totally arrested. Oh, yeah, it's one of those things, guys. It's just unfortunate for the DUDULA people, but what I can tell you is what they started really helped a certain area of how the Joburg has been cleaned. A lot of cleaning has been happening in these streets here. It's just an amazing thing. This should continue, guys. This should continue, even though DUDULA cannot do anymore what it used to be doing. They are not allowed anymore. But let's be honest, guys. These guys, they really helped a lot. They triggered a certain nerve of the government to say, guys, you've got to do this. The cities has got to be cleaned. Now look at what is happening there in Tshwane, or in Tshwane, whichever the way you want to pronounce it. I'm not a master in pronouncing certain names, but it is what it is. This is Joburg, guys. The streets of Johannesburg is there. Amazing. They're kind of looking very clean. I think this should carry on. If only this could be forever, Joburg could be a different place to be. It could be a very vibrant place to. Very, welcoming city, should I say, to come and visit, to come and walk as a local, or even as a tourist. You can see in the streets, the corners, the garbage is being collected. Love what I'm seeing. But how long is this going to last? Is it going to last only until the G20? I'll be observing. I'll be coming back once in a while to check on things, to see if this carries on. These are the busy streets. You can see it's just business as usual. Everyone looks to be very hectic. So I think we crossed over small streets. We walked down using small street. But now I'm just going to try to show you this street, what's happening as well.